we are such a society that has gone off the rails. We are a group of people that have really moved into a position to where it's all about partisan politics. And most of us, I can't say all of us, a lot of us have, whether we've been on TV or we just did it with our own families, we've all been a party to it. There's no one that could say, you know, I walk out of this building, I get hit by a bus, the headline's never going to read, Glenn Beck dies, America unites. We've all played a role. How do we get people to shed the argument of politics and also shed the cynicism that, well, you can't change, you really believe that, you were part of the problem? Yes, we all were. How do we get there?
It's a very good question, and perhaps the pondering of that question itself is one of the best ways to get there. Staying in touch with the puzzle that it is to be alive, and connecting with other people in that way. I mean, the confusion that we feel in trying to decide what we think, what we believe, that's natural, and I think it's actually very healthy to dive as deep as we can into beliefs and ideas and opinions and allow them to make us passionate and to inflame us at times, but to never let them replace who we really are deep down inside, which is a person. And at the worst, you know, we lose sight that other people who have different feelings than us, that they're not people. And when I felt that way, it was frightening. It was a very scary feeling. And this young man that wrote in,
Tell me where that was.
Well, about his dad, you know. Oh, well, geez. I mean, anytime, like on the way here, I was running a little late. I'm in New York City, and of course there's traffic and all that. And I noticed as we're turning the corner in the car that there were some people hesitating to walk across the sidewalk, and I felt this feeling like, these idiots, why don't they just go? And I thought, isn't this funny that here I am, you know, not being the nicest guy as I'm going in to talk about these ideas, and it brought me back home to, you know, don't get so mad about running late that I'm going to think less of these people. You know, and it's an easy game to play with yourself, but I think it is important to not lose sight of that genuine, loving care that we hope to have, not just for our immediate friends and family and for ourselves, but hopefully for everybody. It's not easy, but it's worth doing.
So the problem is that people think that you are surrendering your values, because, I mean, I still believe the things that I believe. I still believe they're important. I still believe in the Constitution. I don't believe in the parties, and I don't believe in politics, but I do believe in freedom and justice and mercy and all those things. And that's kind of what I felt I was fighting for, but I got lost in being a part of the problem. But people will tell me, you can't give up. No. I'm not giving up. I still believe in those things. But I don't believe in the way we were trying to attain those things or to defend those things.
No, I completely agree, and I think it's very noble to be able to recognize that in oneself. You know, it's very easy to, you know, get lost in your own passion, and to be humbled occasionally doesn't mean that you're a weak person. You know, that's a very big lesson that I'm still learning myself, that to be weak in terms of being open-minded and open-hearted isn't a flaw. In fact, to be too proud to have moments of being humbled, that's more flawed than anything. It's a way to hold on to who you are, but not let it define you in a way that cuts you off from the rest of humanity.
You have a really fascinating view on abortion. It's not something I usually say, hey, let's talk abortion. But you have a really interesting view on this. Will you explain?
I do. What did I say on abortion?
Okay. That you, let me look it up here.
Is there some quote you're referring to?
Yeah. Somebody gets an abortion, we don't think, oh, a fetus just magically disappeared. When someone is executed on death row, we don't think, oh, an inmate just passed away somehow. We realize the violence and severity of what's going on. Killing other beings is painful and heavy for everyone, even when it's for a good reason. And killing other beings is painful and spiritually troubling. When it comes, that good reason is hard to pin down. We must wrestle and struggle with these uncomfortable and unnerving thoughts to be brave enough and to confront them head on. So I don't know what your position is on abortion, but what you're saying is absolutely true. We can't just look away and say it's nothing. it obviously is something.
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense. And sometimes it's enough to leave it at that. These things are very heavy and intense. And to be on one side of an issue that vast, I don't know if that's even the most respectful thing to do. I mean, I've tried to treat all these things with respect and a sort of a case-by-case approach, but that doesn't take away the intensity of it. I remember at my high school, I went to high school in Ann Arbor, Michigan, a public high school, but a very small one called Community High School. And it was very, progressive kind of school, but so progressive that I was truly open-minded enough to include everybody. And there was a guy that would come and picket out in front of the school, an anti-abortion protester, I guess because he thought our school was, pro-abortion, which I don't think it really was. But he had these very graphic photos of dead fetuses and very bloody and very upsetting. But I don't know that it really made any impact beyond that this is what's actually happening when you do something as intense as getting an abortion. And it wouldn't necessarily stop someone from getting it. It just makes them realize that's what's at stake. So it's kind of like when you eat an animal, I'm aware that I killed a living animal to eat it, and doesn't make it better or worse. It's just, I guess, awareness in general is very important when grappling with such heavy concepts.
Where do you where do you get this from? Is this, I mean, are you a religious guy? Are you where do you get this? How'd you?
I like religion and respect it a lot. I don't know. I'm into a feeling. There's a feeling, a good feeling, but it kind of goes beyond, for me, the ability to say it's a positive feeling. I think it's the feeling of being alive. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that the more I get in touch with it, the better I feel. And at the really high points, it seems like other people can feel good too from whatever I'm able to offer from this feeling. Music definitely is a very direct way to get there, but talking like we're doing, it works too. So that's the way I've defined that feeling is partying, like celebrating being alive. It's not just something you do on the weekends. And
I have a feeling
it's not just something that you do.
I have a feeling the rest of the world defines partying differently than you are meaning it, because the world would decide partying, oh, it's drinking and everything else, and you're saying no, just enjoy being alive.
There you go. It's joy, and again, you can people that want to experience it through drinking or through whatever way. I'm not here to really tell people how to have fun. You'd hope that your fun doesn't inflict any damage on anyone else, but it's that it is okay to be happy in life, even with all the strife, maybe especially during times of great pain and suffering. We still have to be able to stay close to that joy, because we can't save the world in a bad mood. It just doesn't tend to go very well.
Andrew, I have enjoyed talking to you. I would love to